Hey everybody, I'm Liz Weiss with Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen, and I'm doing this Facebook Live broadcast for the second time today. I had technical difficulties a couple minutes ago. We worked it out and I'm back. So I apologize for anybody who tried to watch my demonstration of Asian beef bowls, but I'm gonna do it all over again. And I promise I have not eaten it, even though I'm dying to. But today I'm gonna show you a makeover of Asian beef bowls. You might see this recipe around the internet. It's got a lot of sugar, it's got a lot of soy sauce, so it's very salty. And it's usually served over a bed of white rice. So I'm gonna give it a makeover for you. So if you're just joining, please tell me where you're from. I'm broadcasting live today from Nantucket, Massachusetts. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my Facebook page. I hope I'm here. I'm looking, yay, there I am. So tell me where you're from. Last week I had people from all over the world. It was an amazing experience. Pakistan, South Dakota, Philippines, I mean, you name it. So anyway, Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen is a blog all about recipes designed to help families eat a healthy diet. And I blog with Janice Bissix. We're both registered dietitians. Janice is off today. So here I am. And so on our website, Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen, just yesterday I posted a recipe for Asian beef bowls. I'm going to show you what they look like right over here. Because I did this Facebook Live a few minutes ago, I have one that's already prepared for you. And so this recipe is made with lean ground beef. It's served over brown rice. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it over the next few minutes. Now bear in mind that Facebook Live is not one of these very sort of quick types of videos. It's, they're usually 10 or 15 minutes in length. So we're going to have a little time to hang out, check in. If you have any nutrition questions, recipe questions, ask away. Tell me where you're from. Again, if you're just tuning in, I'm Liz Weiss with Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. Okay, so Asian beef bowls. This recipe begins with 3 green onions that I slice up into little slivers. Now these are the green tops, and I went ahead and saved these because I'm going to use them to garnish in a little bit, okay? And we saute the green onion with a clove of garlic. And that gets sauteed in about a teaspoon of olive oil for just a minute or two till it gets fragrant. Then you add a pound of lean ground beef. Now I have it over here to show you. This is not a pound of lean beef because I ate some earlier today. I was starving, and I've used some just a few minutes ago with my failed Facebook Live. But now we're back, yay. So I'm gonna show you how I make the secret sauce. But anyway, we start with lean ground beef. And the reason I like to use lean ground beef is because the dietary guidelines that just came out earlier this year recommend that we all eat lots of fruits and vegetables and whole grains. And, oh, wait a minute, let me turn my mute, let me mute that, there we go. But yeah, so dietary guidelines, lean protein foods. Okay, so fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, dairy foods, calcium-rich foods, but lean protein foods. So when I choose ground beef, I go for the 90% lean or higher. So that's what I start out with. I have about a pound right here, okay? I'm just gonna see if anybody is here. Hey, all right, so California. Oh, Linwood, Washington. Hey, Madeline, welcome to Facebook Live. I'm in Nantucket, Massachusetts today. The weather is spectacular. I don't want to make anyone jealous who's in a rainy part of the country, but I'm so glad you're joining me. Liz Weiss here with Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. I'm making Asian beef bowls, and I'm doing a makeover. So Asian beef bowls, the recipe tends to use ground beef, which I'm a huge fan of, but it's typically served over white rice, and I'm serving this over brown rice. And then I'm creating a secret sauce. A lot of the sauces you see in these recipes call for a 1/4 cup of sugar, about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and then a little bit of sesame oil. Well, the sugar is sugar. We don't want to be adding lots of sugar to the diet. The dietary guidelines tell us cut back on sugar. We all eat too much of it. So I'm only using a tablespoon of brown sugar, and that's shared among 4 servings. Or if you have little kids, maybe 5 or 6 servings even. And I'm only going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce, and this is a low sodium soy sauce. So let me go ahead and show you how I make my secret sauce for these Asian beef bowls. Here's our sugar. Just 1 tablespoon. I'm going to go ahead and refresh our page and see if anybody else is joining us today on Facebook Live. Let's see. know, sometimes these comments disappear and I don't know who's with me. So I promise I'm going to jump into Facebook later and answer any questions you might have. And I promise to say hello to everybody. Let's see, we've got soy sauce. I'm going to call for just 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, not a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to use the light or lower sodium soy sauce because we don't want to go overboard on sodium. Most people consume way too much sodium. If you want this recipe, by the way, it is in my, it's right above my head in the status update on Facebook. I gave you a link, and then you could head on over to my website, Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. So, toasted sesame oil. This is what brings this recipe to life, in my humble opinion. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. I must say it's probably one of my favorite ingredients right now. I'm totally on a jag and eating it and using it a lot in my cooking. And then just a little bit of ground ginger. Now you could certainly use fresh ginger. I happen to not have any on hand, but you add about a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ginger. If you love things really gingery, go ahead and add more. I mean, that's the beauty of recipes. You take a recipe and then you start to adapt it. That's what I do when I give things a makeover. I find a recipe I love, or maybe a few recipes, I morph them, I figure out where can I tweak this. And the makeovers we do at Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen are really designed to be kid-friendly, fast and easy, affordable, and lower in things like sodium, saturated fat, and sugar, but then brimming with goodness from fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and wholesome lean protein foods. All right, we have our sauce. I'm gonna add it to our beef. Now granted, I'm not gonna add all of it right now because I only have really half of the beef here because I used some earlier. But we're gonna stir this in, and it's seriously delicious stuff, but I'm not done. My secret sauce is not complete because I need to add 2 more ingredients. To this sauce, I'm going to add fresh herbs. Now it's summer, and I promised that I was going to give you a recipe that would not heat up your kitchen and that was light and fresh for summertime. And so I'm going to add some fresh herbs to this recipe. We've got fresh mint, which is actually growing in my garden. I've got some containers this year with herbs. I am not a green thumb, but they're still alive. I'm so excited. And then I also have cilantro. So cilantro is one of these foods that's very polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. Now my husband Tim, who is my official photographer today, Tim, you like cilantro, right? You could say yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, he's there. Hi, Tim. Tim's from England, by the way, originally. Can I tell everybody what happened to you last week? So last week, Tim got his U.S. citizenship. He now has dual citizenship, and that was pretty exciting. So he's now British and American. So Tim, congratulations. And Tim loves cilantro, and so do my boys, Josh and Simon. And I actually created this recipe for the boys because they love meat. You know, every time they come home, they're like, Mom, I want meat. And then they eat dinner, and then they say after dinner, Mom, what's for dinner? I'm like, but I just fed you dinner. So it's a little bit frustrating, but they're 17 and they're 21 and they're hungry all the time. So if you're just tuning in, my name is Liz Weiss. I'm a registered dietitian with Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. And today I'm demonstrating a healthy makeover of Asian beef bowls. So I'm using lean ground beef in this recipe. And lean ground beef is kind of my go-to because I want my family to get all the nutritional benefits from beef, but I want to keep that saturated fat down. So if you go for your lean cuts of beef, then you could absolutely have your cake and eat it too, if you will. So beef is great because it's rich in protein. It's rich in zinc, which is important for your immune system. It's rich in B vitamins, which gives you energy. It is rich in, I'm going to look at my list because now, phosphorus for strong bones. You know, we always think of calcium for strong bones, which is very true, but phosphorus as well. So, okay, who's here? Oh my gosh, my sister Amy. And somebody else, Lindsay. Lindsay says, hi, Tim. So, hey everybody, thanks for joining. All right, I'm going to build the bowl. Since I already built one here, I'm going to build another one. So I'm just going to run over and grab a bowl. So, all right, here we go. So what we're going to do to build our bowl is we're going to start with brown rice. Now, I love using brown rice because brown rice is a whole grain. And we all want to be getting at least half of our grains as whole grains, because whole grains provide fiber and important nutrients. And so I would say for my family, more of our grains are whole than refined, probably the vast majority. And I use the boil in a bag. I have a bag here, whole grain brown rice. I used Uncle Ben's because I love shortcuts in the kitchen, and it's summertime and I don't want to heat up the kitchen. So this took like 12 minutes, I think, to make. And I was telling people earlier on my aborted Facebook live cast, and now I'm doing it for the second time in the last half hour, but Uncle Ben's is a very cool company because they have a program called Ben's Beginners. I actually helped them with it, I want to say a year or two ago. Janice and I got involved with them, and just to help them spread the word. Basically, Ben's Beginners is a contest that will launch in August where they encourage families to cook together. They encourage that all year long, but they encourage them to film themselves or videotape themselves cooking together. You can send in the video to Uncle Ben's, and if you win, if your child wins, I think they have a winner in each region of the country, you win all sorts of cool prizes. So check out the Uncle Ben's Beginners program. All right, so we have our brown rice, and then we're gonna top it with our lean ground beef. So if you're just tuning in, I've given Asian beef bowls a healthy makeover with a special sauce, a secret sauce. It is made with low sodium soy sauce, toasted sesame oil for some seriously big flavor. We've got ginger, you can use ground ginger or fresh, and then we add a tablespoon of brown sugar. Most of these recipes you see have a lot of sugar added. We all want to be cutting back on sugar. So, and then I add herbs. I add cilantro. If you don't love cilantro, leave it out. And I add fresh mint. All right, we're almost done. So to top this, we've got our whole grain brown rice, our lean beef. I added some vegetables. So the vegetable I chose for this recipe is sugar snap peas. So what I did with my sugar snap peas is that I heated up a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil right here. Heated up a teaspoon in a skillet over medium heat. I didn't crank it too high because sesame oil doesn't like super high heat. So I heated that up, and then I spent about 5 minutes just sauteing those sugar snap peas so they're still crispy and they're warmed through, and they have this incredibly delicious flavor from the sesame oil. That's it, just a teaspoon. And I was saying before too that if you're growing snap peas in your garden or you buy them at the market, sometimes they have like a fibrous stem that kind of goes along both sides. So you can just take a little paring knife. These actually are fantastic. There's no sort of fibrous string or strand along here, but that can be kind of unpleasant to kids and even for adults. So you can trim it before you saute, but very crispy. I love them. All right, so we're almost done. The other ingredient, the other element to my Asian beef bowls is radishes. And radishes right now are so gorgeous. I mean, look at this radish. Look at that color. Radishes are a very good source of fiber and vitamin C and antioxidants that have been shown to help fight cancer. I think all fruits and vegetables, all whole grains, are all cancer fighters in my opinion. But I like the flavor here of radishes. I used to not like the flavor. Kind of spicy, kind of peppery, but I'm getting used to them, and I'm adding them to my recipes a lot this summer. And I'm really, really enjoying them, I have to say. And the other night, I actually was on Facebook and I was asking people, how do you cook radishes? Like, what do you do with them? How do you make them a little sweeter? And one of our Facebook fans said, go ahead and cut them into quarters like this and toss with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper and roast at 400 for about 30 minutes. Kind of stir halfway through. And I did that, and the radishes were sweet. They lost that peppery flavor. They were kind of juicy. It's hard to explain, but I gotta tell you, Simon and I, my 17-year-old, we cannot stop eating them. He doesn't love them this way, but he loved them roasted. So you could actually roast them and add them to your Asian beef bowls. Okay, we're almost done. I'm just gonna take a quick peek at Facebook to see if I can respond. Oh, Mary from Delaware. Mary, my son Josh is a rising senior at the University of Delaware. He's actually in New York City this summer doing an internship. He's like a Wall Street kind of guy. But last summer he was down in Delaware, so he's really been enjoying that. So thank you for joining. Tennessee, Cindy. Is it hot in Tennessee? I bet it's really hot. I actually used to live in Atlanta. I worked for CNN many years ago, and I had an opportunity to go hiking in Tennessee and do some whitewater rafting. It's a beautiful part of the country. So thank you so much for tuning into Facebook Live, and I see Tara here from Arizona and North Dakota. What is it with the Dakotas? You guys are the best fans ever. I had so many people over the last few weeks from the Dakotas who've joined me on Facebook Live. So my name's Liz Weiss. I'm with Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. I really hope you stop by the website and check it out. Janice, my co-author, and I have a free download right now. It's a cookbook called the Smoothie Bowl Coloring Cookbook. And if you go to the website and you sign up for the newsletter, you will automatically be sent a link to that free download. It's a beautiful book. So I am obsessed with bowl meals, whether it's a smoothie bowl or a bowl like this that you can enjoy for dinner. So we're almost done with Asian beef bowls, a healthy makeover, because I used reduced sodium soy sauce, just a teeny bit of brown sugar. I added lots of vegetables. I used lean ground beef packed with great nutrition, protein, zinc, iron, B vitamins. I also used brown rice. So much goodness in this very simple dinner, and very versatile too. The icing on the cake, or the sprinkles on the bowl, is sesame seeds. So kids actually really love doing this. If you've got kids at home, leave the sesame seeds out and let them sprinkle right onto their bowl dinner. Let's see who else is piping in here and joining us today. If you've got any questions for me, go ahead and ask away on Facebook. I will answer them all, and I will personally say hi to everybody. And Facebook's being kind of funky because it's not really, oh, here we go. I'm gonna try to make this sometime this weekend. Oh, fantastic, that's Lindsay. Thank you so much. I really wanna hear from you though. Let me know, what do you think of this recipe? If you look above my head, you will see I shared a link. The other link I'm gonna go ahead and give you, and by the way, that link is to the recipe. It's on the blog, Meal Makeover Mom's Kitchen. The other link I'm gonna give you is for a Hawaiian punch makeover. Now that might sound random, but I love this recipe, and I was thinking the other day, what would be a great beverage to serve with these Asian beef bowls, because you want something really cooling and refreshing, right? It's summertime. So our Hawaiian punch makeover, Janice and I created that recipe a couple years ago. You just blend together watermelon, strawberries, and I got some beautiful local berries the other day. Watermelon, strawberries, a little bit of agave nectar, you can use honey, and some lime juice and some ice. Blend it together and you've got this most amazing Hawaiian punch makeover. So I'm going to give you a link to that recipe because I think you're going to love it. Anyway, I think that's it. It was fast and furious today, or maybe it wasn't. You know, Facebook, we spend a little more time chatting. It's not like a 1-minute cooking video. We have a little more time to get together and talk. But I just want you to know that there's so much goodness in these Asian beef bowls. You've got protein, iron, zinc, fiber, vitamin C, so much happening, whole grain goodness, lean ground beef, so many great things happening, not one, but 2 vegetables, and it's versatile. So go ahead and try, string beans, tomatoes, any vegetable you like. But I'm just so glad you joined me today on Facebook Live, and I will be back, or Janice, one of us will be back next week. We're both kind of in different places this summer, but we're gonna be back next week with another recipe to be determined. So thanks again for joining.